Hey guys, welcome yet again to another reaction video. I'm Mr. Lucky Luke, and today's one we're going to be watching is Simon the Digger versus Kyle Rayner, Gurren Lagann versus the White Lantern. A new death battle has been released, and we're going to be watching this one, apparently. Now, total disclaimer, I have no idea who these are. Honestly, at this point, it's basically a mystery. So yeah. Now, for these two characters, I only haven't heard a lot of these characters. Like they're supposed to be very, very powerful, and they're supposed to be like unkillable or some kind of way. I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of too much about these two. I've watched a lot of predictions and a little bit of something like 50-50 there. Not all times I haven't been able to do it, but I've watched a couple prediction videos for some other YouTubers. Um, and then they said like these supposed to be very powerful, and I believe them already. And apparently the comments already been screaming who's supposed to win and who's supposed to not. So yeah. Um, but right now I don't know who to really predict. Now, last time I never got a prediction of who was going to win, since I never knew who these two were really, or I really don't know why I even did it in the first place. But yeah. But for this one, I don't know much about which one it is. Where like what's the difference between some of these characters? I know that Simon Digger's from an anime, and Kyle Rayner's from basically like he's basically like is he not? Oh no, he said he no. I think he's like a Green Lantern, but just much powerful. Um, However, I still don't know what they're capable too much about it. I know they're supposed to have like reality powerful, like they have like so much power and like that. I don't know yet, but for now, this is basically be one of those death battles. It's gonna be a little bit of a learning more. Last time we ever got any of these fighters to fight in death battle, which by the way, yes, fully aware. The only fighter I only know about who has been in death battle is actually a Green Lantern, which by the way, that season went because we all know that Ben 10 versus Green Lantern was a huge nerf because yeah, I've already heard and I've watched it and I remember that death battle and we the entire community were upset they nerfed Ben 10 a lot because Ben 10 was supposed to win, but the death battle just said nope, Green Lantern wins, so that was all they could have said. And I even watched the small little death battle like little upcoming, I guess, little thing that when they do in death battle, obviously they like they just the little small like a little explanation about these characters. They do that like almost like they take like 3 to 4 minutes and then explain what these two are. So I'm already aware of that season, which was probably the worst one they ever did. But yeah, but besides that, I don't know much about these two at all. So yeah. I only know that this the White Lantern is like, or it's supposed to be a Green Lantern, but like very powerful, but like some kind of like an evil Green Lantern or something. And Simon Digger is supposed to be a giant, supposed to be a manipulated god or something. Who had like who can basically just ignore, I guess, I don't know. I forgot. I just generally don't know about. Here's the thing. I have not got I never got prepared for this death battle because I was worried I want to predict the wrong an answer because it's Simone Digger versus a Kyle Rayner. It feels like one of them should obviously win, but at the same time I don't want to screw up because where I'm pretty sure if I'm not mistaken, um let me get my phone in. I'm gonna make sure if I'm correct. I am currently on 4-4 win streak. So all I can get basically a win with 4 wins or I could get 5 wins or 5 losses. I'm currently at 4-4. So yeah. Um, but right now I don't know who to really like predict or who really vote or who I'm gonna take a prediction already, since I don't know. I want to still fully learn about these two, but if I'm gonna have to take a random prediction right now, I guess Simon the Digger's going to win. I don't know. I don't know. I generally, like I said, I really don't know much about these two. I have no idea who they're like, if they're super powerful. I only know the community said they're supposed to be very, like, this is supposed to be one of those death battles that was like basically gonna be like, this is the like the not that this is one of these death battles gonna be that had like that it got into a cast and pretty. I think a lot of people been really asking for this death battle a lot. I even watched the podcast of the Simone Digger versus Kyle Rayner, and apparently I don't know who won. I think Simone won that one. So I'm going to still predict so far. For now, Simone is going to win. If I'm wrong, okay, I'm okay with this. I'm not going to be mad because I don't really I don't know. I don't really care too much about these, but that's totally okay. But yeah. Anyways, but without further ado, thank you also for the follow, Zender. You're going to be here watching a death battle, so that's cool. And we're going to see who's going to win. Let's go ahead and wait for the timer reach 0, and let's get into this video, I suppose, because I'm gonna need to learn a lot. Hopefully, the analysis won't take 20 seconds. All right, see you in a bit. All right, we're back. Let's get into it. Also, I hope my audio is not too trash because I'm still using my new audio. But let's find out if it's gonna be good. Anyways, let's see it.
Simone the Digger. Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern. Two men born of Earth with the willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Okay, alright, let's see here. Simone.
Deep underground, Jiha Village lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the wider world above their squalid cave. That's where the hero of our story comes in. The young man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at last, Kamina, the great and mighty. Oh, and his little brother from another mother, Simone. He was there too, I guess.
Oh, yeah, him.
Was a digger, content to drill endlessly through the dirt, until the day he found the core drill. A key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagann. Under his magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark. But the sky was by no means the limit. The surface was ruled by the cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the Earth for humanity, scoring a second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren. And as befits Kamina and Simone's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagann merged, creating Gurren Lagann. With Kamina piloting the body and Simone the head, these two were unstoppable. Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagann might just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its pilot's willpower and capable of making any weapon they can imagine, including missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course, drills! Wrist-mounted drills,
drills, of course.
Drills, Kamehameha drills, and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku! Side note, it is so funny that the only thing they could think of was drills. That's like if I made booze or something, my whole personality. What up? With Gurren Lagann's awesome power, Kamina laid waste to enemy forces, liberated human villages, and fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord Genome. Until Kamina died. Oh, wait, shit, was that supposed to happen? Nope, and it was all Simone's fault. He let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price. After all, he was just a humble digger, at home in the darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit. So his big bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simone who believes in you. Damn. Kamina was the one looking up to him the whole time. It was Simone who found Lagann, Simone who pierced the surface, and Simone who would now lead humanity to victory.
Yeah,
especially
this
with
guy,
his
sure.
at his side, who helped pull him out of his rut and kick Lord Genome's ass. But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
Unimaginably powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral
Nice smile.
feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the spiral nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right, the laws of physics run on chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and madness, the spiral turned outward spins forever into infinity, the perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential Simon would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral.
What?
And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy.
Channeling spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming. Simon can create portals to different realities and higher dimensions. He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and time with a punch.
Or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote, all time, space, and dimensions.
What?
All within a Planck instant.
That's the smallest unit of time physically possible.
Meaning each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light. Oh, well, looks like this wins the award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
Move over, SpongeBob. You've been dethroned.
Aw, sad
and the guidebook
SpongeBob, I'm
says
sorry.
they hit an innumerable number of enemies across infinite universes.
Sorry, SpongeBob.
You literally cannot calculate how fast that is.
But it wasn't enough to escape the anti-spiral's greatest trap, the multiverse labyrinth. An attack that imprisons Simon in his own unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that controlled his mind, permanently arresting him in a dream world.
Except Simon and his spiral power are just built different. And after being inspired by his bro, Simon absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simon absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself. The jump between dimensions is basically infinite. Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're just getting
hell?
started. Imagine a two-dimensional drawing interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay. That's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simon absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including an alternate universe Simon who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann.
Is that even
author's
possible?
spiral power made his fictional Simon real, adding another to the mix.
Wait, if every human being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mech
Maybe.
evolution, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when Gurren Lagann gets actually fucking crazy. Like,
He
shoot
said it.
missiles
He
that alter
swore in the
probability
show.
so they have a 100% chance
Wow, he
of
didn't
hitting
even
you,
censor
or
it.
tossing
Been a while since I
galaxies
heard
around
a
like
swear word in
frisbees.
Death Battle.
Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
Simone's power was so immense that he started generating super spiral space, a higher dimension encompassing our own universe.
With it, Simon turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used spiral power to survive quantum breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used spiral power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality. Nia literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I have spiral power, whiz, when the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even this was not enough for the anti-spiral,
I'm sorry,
Simone
I'm
evolved
sorry,
one
Boomstick.
more time.
Into Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann!
This mech is so big, its size is literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simon and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe! Meet the indomitable human spirit!
Proving Kamina's words prophetic, that Simon's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With no more worlds left to conquer, Simon chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up, for all the lights in the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
What the hell is
The universe
this?
is a dangerous place.
Okay,
Should
what?
you find yourself face to face with an interdimensional vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know who to call.
I'm just
The
trying to
Green
figure out.
Lantern Corps.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They're the Space Fuzz,
I'm just
an
trying to get
intergalactic
in all
police
that in,
force
but whatever.
founded billions of years ago by blue leprechaun gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite, Hal Jordan.
You know him. You love him. You might hate him, but you gotta respect the man with a will as
You
unbreakable
might hate
as
him
Hal's.
indeed.
Until the day his will broke.
After his hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind. He rampaged through the core, killing everyone in his path, and absorbed the central power battery, the literal Green Lantern.
Becoming the Emerald Tyrant, Parallax.
There was only one survivor of Parallax's killing spree, Ganthet. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner.
So, was Kyle picked for his indomitable willpower like Hal was?
He was just there. He had no idea what was going on. Must feel good being given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own. Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space Wheat, and a sentient box can master it, what's your excuse, Kyle?
The Green Lantern ring can do anything, fulfilling any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp.
It lets you
Does he
fire
like a
energy
genie of some
blasts,
sort?
create force
No.
fields, affect gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and erase things from existence.
Think we're exaggerating?
Well, that's not
consider
gonna
the
have
time
any
Kyle
issues.
stretched the very fabric of space to increase the Planck length a billion times over. That's like stretching an inch into a light year.
Lanterns control time and space, letting them fly so fast they can create a Speed Force singularity.
Tapping into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of space, requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger.
Like the time that Boozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence by the Crisis on Infinite Earth.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited only by their imagination.
While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the Corps, Kyle's imagination is unmatched, probably because he's a comic book artist. And we know from this show, they think of some wild shit.
But the Green Lantern's most recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey, that one looks familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity.
Or hold back a 12.3 dimensional Big Bang. Wait, 0.3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I've heard
Ring's
plenty
only
of stupid
downside
things,
is that it's
Boomstick.
limited to 24 hours before needing a recharge.
So it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
that is
Although
gotta-
I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With
Yeah,
great
Kyle, that's
power came
Kyle.
No responsibility.
Perhaps a manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle wasn't the
Wow.
only one traumatized.
Must have been
This
him.
moment was so infamous, it started the trope called fridging.
For how female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
So
Yep.
it might surprise you that it happened to Kyle again.
Kyle finally got
Dun, dun,
serious.
dun. Okay, I'm
He
not
became a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy. It's a long story. He had to master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The yellow light of fear lets Kyle manipulate the worst horrors in your mind. The more scared you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm, which sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope and allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final one was the sapphire light of love. With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds. But Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of the spectrum merged, and Kyle became a White Lantern, with total control over the power of life.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life in the DC multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other Lantern in existence.
Far stronger than Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, the white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the Anti-Monitor.
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Especially after Kyle visited the Source and acquired the Life Equation. Essentially the source code to reality, the Life Equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The Life Equation, like its counterpart, the Anti-Life Equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion. Kyle's greatest weakness was still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the Life Equation into pieces to found his second core, the White Lanterns. And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
Okay, that was a lot more quick. Okay, hold on, okay.
Hey, remember Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia?
Yeah. Okay, guys, yeah.
Well, that's because it was taken off YouTube for being too anime. But we've got a solution.
Wait, what?
That's our own website.
They got
That's
taken.
www.deathbattle.gg.
Anyway, so, oh my gosh. Okay,
it's like
okay,
our
okay,
own
okay,
private
okay.
Patreon with a store for Death Metal merch
What?
and a complete Death Metal video
Let me think.
It's got
Okay, so they
episodes
said
that
about
YouTube
life
has
man.
banned, blocked, and censored, and there's even more goodies
I
on the
want
way.
to say the
So
life
check out
equation that
deathbattle.gg
the
live right now.
Lantern has sounds a lot. Jesus, I can't even think about. Okay,
Alright,
guys.
the combatants are
This
set.
can be
We've
a
run the data
very
through all
bad feeling for me,
It's
but
time
like, guys,
for a
I have
death
something to address.
battle!
Oh, not address, but okay. I'm gonna regret this, but I have a suspicious feeling that the White Lantern is going to win.
I'm not rusty at all.
I have a feeling the White Lantern is going to destroy him.
Hey, dude. Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah, so I'm gonna predict so far with White Lantern. You know, I'm gonna say White Lantern's gonna win. If Timon wins, that's great, because I don't care who it is. I have no regret of this death battle, win or lose.
God with authority.
So,
Tell me about it. 4.
okay, well, whatever. Alright. We got the Green White Lantern. My stomach is like saying Gurren's still gonna win. But I'm already gonna regret it, but I'm still predicting this. White Lantern's gonna still win.
Gurren Lagann!
Oh boy.
I'm a lantern. We do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
If you ain't know,
Now you know.
Huh.
I'm Simone the Digger. If there's a wall in my way, I'll smash it down!
Okay. Oh boy. Will he survive this?
stop fighting. Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future. Choose life.
Have faith in the Simone that believes in you.
Uh-oh.
Super Tekken Super Gurren Lagann! My drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens! Giga Drill Free!
Let's see if it has something to do with it. Can he do something about it? Okay, that is kind of awesome. Oh.
The super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest night.
Oh.
No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern fly!
Let's see you grit those teeth!
You'd make a good lantern.
Simone of Earth, you have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Damn it.
KO! For the guy with
I
the
should have
snazzy
done. I should have stuck with my guns,
When
but I'm
both
an
combatants
idiot.
possess unlimited power, it's hard
You're like,
to
hey, can we
judge
guys
them by our normal
just
standards.
erase the part where I said
Speed.
White
Simone can
Lantern's
hit an
gonna win?
infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly
Yeah.
fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
I feel
When
like
you
I
control
need to.
space and time,
They
things
don't
like
they don't
strength
make
and
a longer
speed kinda
prediction.
become
Like,
irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens
Oh.
more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
First up, imagination.
I mean, I would have predicted.
The
You know, it was a
boundless things
50-50.
they can
I had
conjure to
no.
use
I
against
mean,
the other.
they have
Both could
infinite.
think of just about
Guys,
anything
it had
the other could,
infinite.
like
So there's
absorbing each other's
literally,
attacks,
there was
fighting across
literally
time,
one way or
anything.
another that
Simone
one of
did
them
have
could
a
have
few
won.
attacks
One of
that
them
Kyle
could have
hasn't
lost.
encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring
Yeah.
could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
And in general, Kyle's constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
That leaves the other main factor for both characters, the origin of their unbelievable might, their willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here, since it's the source of everything for both of them. Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each
Yeah.
numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simon's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simon starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simon to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simon made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simon, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge. Especially since Simon could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simon has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simon's willpower, Simon resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would
that was
have
gonna be
more
more
than
enough to
even
deal
the
with it.
odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset, forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simon, who merged with a version of himself writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simon had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look at it, Simon might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simon's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simon's incredible potential eclipsed Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself, but Simon's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is Simon the Digger.
Next time on Death Battle.
What's next? What? Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, this is gonna be
Subscribe
Wile E.
and join as a
Coyote
member to
versus
see more
Tom
Death
the
Battle.
Cat.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, now we're talking something that is actually kind of interesting. Okay. I'm already kind of hyped about this one better than what I just watched. Okay, so now we're finally getting ourselves the kicks. Okay, if you don't understand, Death Battle had like little like year of like these little votes of like who do you want to actually see Death Battle itself fight next. Yeah, we actually getting the top one most requested Death Battle looks like, and it's gonna be Wile E. Coyote versus Tom the Cat. I thought for a second when I looked at I thought when I saw the Roadrunner, I was like, wait, why is Roadrunner here? I was like, wait, is he part of the Death Battle? But then I saw Yeri and then Tom, and then I saw Wiley. I was like, oh wait, they're going to do Wiley versus Tom. I was like, wait, what? Because I thought Wiley was good. Oh, not Wiley. I forgot. I thought the Roadrunner is going to be in Death Battle. I was like, what? Why would he be in Death Battle for versus Jerry? Like what? No, they were gonna do I'm sorry. They're gonna do Wile E. Coyote versus Tom the Cat. So this is gonna be a cartoon shenanigans, basically. So, oh my god, I'm actually kind of hyped about this one. Better than Simon Kyle. I already said. And again, I don't really bother about this Death Battle. It was pretty cool. I know this video is not gonna get hyped before it, better than the other reactions. I know there's gonna be a lot of other Death Battle reactions of Simon versus Kyle. Better than this. It's gonna be guaranteed. They were more better than the reaction than this, because I didn't really like. There was so much. Like literally, think about this: Infinite versus Infinite. Who do you think is going to beat? Which Infinite is stronger, Infinite or Infinite? Like, what the hell? I'm not gonna be able to remember all that. So in all odds, I'm alright with this loss. I don't care. It's totally fine. I should have stick with my gut, stick with my vote with Simon the Digger, but sometimes I just do this and it just happens. But yeah, but this time, I'm going to predict that Wile E. Coyote is gonna win. I'm already predicting Wile E. Coyote is gonna destroy Tom. I love Looney Tunes. Is it Looney Tunes? No, Looney Tunes is Wile E. Coyote. Tom the cat is he not also part of Looney Tunes? I forgot. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'm sorry. But yeah, so besides that, I'm already hyped about this next battle or next death battle more than ever, and this time they have more right. Oh, actually, hold on. But then again, they have more. But then they have their channel is not gonna stop them. So yeah. But before we do anything, I do want to check out this one actually. Did Beerus versus Galaxia's death battle actually got removed. Like they actually removed it, and they at least they got the animated death battles animation right here. But still, I mean, it's a little letdown. I mean, come on now, YouTube, don't remove stuff from death battle. They have nothing to do with it. They do it their way, and yeah. But besides that, that is pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching today's death battle here. I'm already excited about the next one. I'm sorry I wasn't able to win this one. I should have picked the Simone, but you know, life makes its decisions itself, and I just accidentally just made a quick little switch, kind of like similar to Ghost Rider versus Spawn, where like I could have stuck with the um Seth Keith, or is that the guy who does the original Spawn voice actor? Keith Scythe, or what's his name? Like, hold on. I'm gonna quickly look it up. Just give me a second here, everyone. He was. Hold on, hold on. I'm going to assume it's the guy I believe it was. Keith David. Never mind. There we go. The Keith David. That's the voice actor I'm talking about. He's supposed to be. You could have Nicolas Cage versus Keith David. It made sense. I should have go with Keith David, but I ended up picking Nicolas Cage instead. But all overall, this death battle was pretty good. Nice animation, pretty well. And I know a lot of people are going to scream on the other reactions, so make sure to watch the other reactions, like the other reaction of this death battle here. So make sure to do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So see you guys girls next time on the death battle Wile E. Coyote versus Tom the Cat. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty hype. So yeah, see you guys girls next time. And as always, stay lucky out there and take care. Also, my audio. Hopefully, my audio is not too loud or too low. I'm still trying my new mic. I have tried it on my last video. I talked about it more about of my audio is not. I'm testing a new audio, trying to see if it's good or not. Which, by the way, last video I actually am asking something in the comments. Which, by the way, I'm leaving a link in the description, and you can watch it from there. Which, by the way, I would like you guys to give us some suggestions of votes. You got Death Battle fans. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But the ones who are my channel fans, please consider take a decision of who do you want me to use on the game I'm currently playing. I'm not gonna say this one, but you'll watch it. You'll have to watch and talk or just say which one you want me to use. That's all I can say. But yeah, besides that, thank you guys for watching today's video. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Subscribe, like the video if you want to. Comment down below. Support Death Battle if you love the Death Battle itself. And as always, stay lucky out there. Take care.